What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. We've got maintenance happening in literally 1 minute 28 seconds, excuse me, 1 hour 28 minutes for Marvel Future Fight coming up here soon. And what are we getting? We're getting Athena, Kingo, and Gilgamesh. Athena is receiving her tier 3 along with CTP of Destruction and Greed Reforging. We're almost there to all of the CTPs actually having their reforging, and they have pretty reforging options as well. So let's jump right into these details. I don't want to go by all of them, but I can tell you right now that these are some pretty good actual updates for the characters in general, for them being introduced. Athena, it's going to probably piss a lot of people off. I'm just going to let you know that outright. The reason why I say it's probably going to piss a lot of people off is because she can only be obtained if you complete the entirety of the epic quest, meaning that if you jump inside here and you were to look at the epic quest for the Eternals here, you see the fate of mankind. You need to complete all of these. So when it launches, it'll be Gilgamesh, Kingo, and then Athena here. You'd have to complete all of them. That means, yes, you would have to complete the space race for Makari, and you would have to complete the all mankind for the forgotten one, Gilgamesh. Yeah, that's gonna be bad because Makari and Gilgamesh both cost deluxe money. So these are going to be 4,400 crystals. So you're either crystal walled or you're going to pay the $29.99 for it. She cannot be acquired from the store, selectors, or craft events. You're going to have to receive her from this here. So it's going to be interesting because that's also going to put another barrier on her because she's receiving a costume, and that means that costume, in order to level up, is going to cost you a mega upgrade costume rank up ticket. So that's another $30, $40 on top of her. So she's going to be quite expensive in order to get. I hope she's as good as that expensiveness is. Now, she basically has a pretty good leadership, just like Icarus. It's pretty good inside there, but the really big shining thing that she has here is critical rate on her passive skills, so it's pretty nice. She also has some immunity, but they're pretty low, 30% immunity chances on her uniform, and she has quite a lot of skills with bleed damage. And in this game, bleed damage sucks ass, and it's pretty much a Shadowland skill. So Gilgamesh and his predator looking uniform over here, he basically looks like People Under the Stairs. If you know the movie, then you know the movie. But I'm not really down with the BDSM look, so I'm happy he's getting his update to look like Don Lee. And he's got an all defense, all basic defense plus 50%. Now, if you looked at any of his uniforms, you're going to see that my man is stacked to the gills, and he's putting a lot of characters to shame. He has so much HP recovery on his abilities. He is going to tank a whole lot of stuff. You can see on his Eternal Resilience passive is 4% recovery, max HP. Doesn't look like a lot, right? But watch when you get down to some of my man's skills later on, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. So he's got that, right, going for him. And then he's also got the total true damage accumulation on his third skill. And we can see right here a nice frenzy buff of 30, 20, and 36 and 20. That's pretty nice. And then we can see down here, he's got fracture, all defense down for 50%, which also ignores immunity. Kingo's running around looking like, you know, one of the dudes participating in Ra's al Ghul's chamber, and I'm not really feeling the uniform at all, but he's got some pretty interesting tactics going along with him that makes him look like he's going to be a world boss legend killer against Null at the very least. You can see that he's giving a increases dodge rate by 15%. I don't believe I've seen that on any other character. And then on his passive, he has an ignore target's dodge rate by 35%. It's pretty good. And then we look, he also has the true damage accumulation for damage dealt. Really nice. We don't care about the bleed at all. And then on his fifth skill, we've got a defense down for 50% with a nice frenzy buff of 36 and 15. Now we get into the uniforms, and this is where things really start to get shaken up a little bit. We can see Athena sitting in here with guard break immunity, thank God, on her uniform, right? And then she gets a change for her third and fifth skill. She actually acquires the true damage accumulation to damage dealt, which is pretty nice. And then on her fifth skill, she gets that nice little buff, 25, 5, and 20. Gilgamesh, meanwhile, gets a really fucking cool uniform effect, which applies to eternal allies. That's really fucking nice, guys. I'm just gonna put it out there. He's increasing all basic defenses by 35%, decreasing chain hit damage received by 15%, and also operating as a physical reflect attack on him. So he's going to look pretty cool. I'm actually liking him quite a bit in terms of what he's getting there. It's going to be pretty interesting. So here goes the thing that I'm looking for in terms of what he's going to represent. So Thanos doesn't have the Eternals tag on him at this point, but we know that he is an Eternal and he should have the Eternal tag. So I'm wondering if this is going to come around at some point. We know Hyperion got the Eternal tag on him. Basically what I'm talking about, if you don't know the characters and you would come inside the character details for the team, for instance, when they updated the last update and we got Hyperion inside the game, underneath his details you were able to see that he was given the Eternals tag right inside here, right? And underneath Thanos, however, we don't see the Eternal tags as of yet, but it's going to be very interesting because if you watch the Eternals movie, and I'm going to spoil some shit for you right now, so cover your ears if you don't want to hear it, we basically got Eros, who's one of Eros, Star Fox, who is basically Thanos's brother in the comic books, and I'm gonna assume that this is gonna allude to Thanos actually being an Eternal as well, because in the comic books Thanos is actually an Eternal. If you look up his character history, who his mom and who his dad is, he's an Eternal. So I would like to see him get that Eternals tag. It'd be nice to see that applying. So basically what we've got in Gilgamesh is a Hulk and Colossus build inside this character, and we can see right here that HP below 99% is getting that nice boost for 6% recovery. We move down over here and we can see that he's getting that frenzy buff still inside there, 13% for each 1% of damage dealt, which is accumulated rather, which is going to be really nice. And then we can see down here the 35% recovery of his max HP. My man is getting some serious buffs, bro. He's gonna be a killer. Increase all basic attacks by 120%. Your boy Kingo is going through a total transformation, looking like Kingo. No, I can't say his goddamn name, but you know who my man is. And basically inside here we see he gets the recovery of max HP for 6%, pretty decent, more than we saw for some characters like Blade, for instance, who got nothing. So anyways, moving right along, and then you can see on his fourth skill he increases all basic attacks by 40% and ignores the target's dodge rate for 40%. That means at base level this dude should be having 75% ignore target dodge rate. He should be really good. And then we see on his fifth skill, increase all basic attacks and basic defense by 30, 10, and 30. Athena rolls through with her tier 3 ultimate skill, and I just love the way it looks. Fate, Stay the Night, or Order. If you like the Fate series, you'll know where this attack is from. Pretty much, it just looks absolutely fucking beautiful. Paralysis ignores immunity aside here, which is good. And then we can see the buffs. So my man Gilgamesh is getting another buff, and this is what I'm telling you: 40% recovery of max HP on his 6th skill, while Kingo is not receiving that, but he gets ignore the target's dodge rate by 70%, just like Gilgamesh inside here. Invincible for 8 seconds. Looks like a pretty cool skill inside there. Now be aware that, like I told you, the big bad of the update is that obviously Gilgamesh and Makari are going to cost you 4,400 crystals, and Athena is locked behind you having to acquire those characters. Meanwhile, Kingo is going to be able to be unlocked for you from BIOS and everything else like that in the game and from the quest, so that's pretty decent inside there. But here you can see that big bummer, right? So then we roll into the actual fate of we roll into the new content that we're receiving, basically some reintroduction of content done in a nice new way, and that's going to be Dimension Riffs. There's a lot to unpack here, but basically you're able to run this 3 times per day at the enhanced levels, the Rift levels, and you can play the normal for as many times as you want, I guess, to generate Dimension Rift stones, so that way you can open up the rifts. You see them here, and you can basically earn artifacts and essence of dimension. That's given another way for us to earn these essence, which kind of gives reason and pause to timeline survival, but at least we have 2 ways and 2 methods of acquiring these essence of dimension now, along with artifacts, so I'm not going to complain at all. I like the revamp to an old mode being brought back. It's definitely really beautiful. Thank you for pointing out that as an old mode being brought back to Cynic Alex. I love it. Anyways, Moving right along from there, we can see that we also have the future pass coming, and we can see some of the dimension rewards here. It's going to be these artifacts. I want to get around to the artifacts because Athena, Gilgamesh, and Kingo are getting the artifacts, but pay attention over here at level 6. We're basically getting another HP recovery for freaking Gilgamesh. This dude is about to cause some headaches inside PvP. I'm gonna let you guys know that right now. Also, the artifacts are going through a little bit of a upgrade where you can actually re-roll artifacts, which is going to be pretty good. And here you can see the CTPs of destruction and greed reforging are being reworked, which is awesome. Looking at them right away, you can see the strike skill increased damage dealt by boss types 120%, and if you get it for the super success, 200%, and then the same ignore enemies damage received by 70% and an additional 30% of concentration. So this is going to be really good CTP reforging, and we'll see how they play out. But basically, a lot of people are probably sitting on a lot of empty CTPs of destruction, so reforge and reforge. Like, I don't even have characters anymore that I've got the CTP of destructions on characters, but I don't even use it anymore. Then we've got the future pass rewards. And the big thing here is, don't forget you have to pay for them, but it's the icons inside of here. If you've been playing giant boss raid, then you should have about 300 tokens by the end of your future pass, which should get you that premium comic card at least once a month that I've been telling you guys about for free. You need 6 premium comic cards, and then you can just level those bad boys up. And then we've got special icons for Quicksilver, Gwenpool, and Athena. I like the way these look a lot. The Athena one will be released at another update wheel, where you're basically gonna have to collect icons, and you'll have to choose whether or not you want that over, you know, some other things like mega rank up tier 2s and dimension CTPs. We've also got the uniform collection in here for all of the Eternals. The uniforms in this Eternal update have looked bananas. They just look awesome. I love them. We also got an update to the Timeline Survival, where we can now see all of our quests, that, you know, the level ups and stuff like that for the quests, which is definitely good, or are basically, you know, your rewards. While the survival shop is sitting there, and we're now going to have some new items inside the survival shop, and then we can have the ability to turn off basic damage and instinct damage, or to have them separated. Cynic Alex brought up a really good point about this, and I would love to have the ability to turn off those damage numbers. That's something we should see in Marvel Future Revolution as well. I just like it overall. I just like it. So like I told you guys, there's going to be some changes inside here. By the way, just so you guys are aware, there's also an update for the Marvel Future Revolution servers, and we're basically getting the Alliance Omega War beta that's going to be added. That's going to happen every Saturday and every Sunday, and we're basically going to be able to have min of 10 players, max of 15 out of 15 players. So we're probably going to be looking at, you know, having to see who our best and best of the Alliance are, so that way we could probably maximize out on events. And then there's going to be an improvement to Omega War Gold, where we're going to get 50,000 gold for wins now instead of 15,000, and then we're receiving gold rewards now for losses and draws as well. Also, just in case you don't see it and it's buried inside here, we're getting a companion upgrade for Athena, and they're going to improve her skill. I'm interested to see how that's going to be improved. It's interesting. The end of the Blitz Raid event and the Special Card Festival for Star-Lord and Captain Marvel are also there. Hopefully the next Special Card Festival is going to be for Spider-Man and Black Widow. I've been saving up some crystals specifically for that. Those are 2 cards I most desperately need. So we're looking at that, but that's all in all what we have for this tonight coming. Basically, that's all starting in about an hour and 28 minutes. So if you haven't already, be aware that you probably should save on content that you're going to currently run through that might be related. So your dimension battles, your co-op skills, and your timeline battles, you probably want to wait till this gets released. Unfortunately, it's going to be a really long update. We're looking at 6 to 2 a.m. in the morning, so that's going to be a huge update time stream for those. But I would suggest that you do that, so where you're going to jump start on Marvel Studios Eternals, the Epic Quest at the very least for Kingo, unless you plan on doing it. One of the really good things about this update that I kind of glossed over completely and missed out on up here is that we've been saved by the Netmarble devs from having to wait. So typically around this time for Black Friday, there's a Black Friday event going on right now. They typically have a uniform 50% off sale, so that way they're all costing half. Well, the good thing is that usually the uniforms only go on sale for 40% when they're introduced, but they've already made the 3 uniforms 50% off. So for 875 crystals, you can basically get Thena, you can get Gilgamesh, and you can get Kingo as well. Usually they're only 40% off, but they've made it to 50% off. I wish this was something that they did year round, because I think a lot of players would feel more gracious about, you know, having to spend 875 crystals, as the price of these uniforms have gone up, where they used to cost about 1200 something like that crystals. Now they're 1750. So it is how it is. But that's about it coming for the update. I have my feelings about it, but I'm gonna wait to see these guys roll out. Gilgamesh is looking to be like Makari, where he's just going to be a mass murdering bastard inside PvP. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him. I think that he's going to be a big boon, but you know, pen to paper versus actual in play is always different. So until next time, guys, I hope you enjoy the vids. I know I forgot to release my Doctor Strange video for the Mystic Arts class damage skill build, and I will be bringing that in the future, or you know, probably maybe tonight. Until next time, guys, peace.